¿Sí? Eskerrik asko. No se oye, ¿no? Sí.
Eredu hau pertsonan oinarrituta dagoenez, pertsona hori ezagutu egin behar dugu. Eta horretarako, mendekotasuna dutenez, ezinbestekoa izaten ari da etxe bizitzetara jutea. Eta ez hori bakarrik, etxe bizitzan baitare ikusten degulako nun dauden. Esan, informazio asko ematen digu, laguntzen digu pertsona ere atzetik ezagutzea. Laguntzen digu baita ere zaintzaile informal eta formalak ere ezagutzea eta haien iritzia ere jakitea. Eta hori beharrezkoa da gero erantzun egoki bat emateko. Azkenean erronketako bat edo hasi nahi dugun ibilbide berrietako bat da, adibidez komunitate mailan sensibilizazio bat sortu nahi da, komunitateak jabetu dadin bakoitzak edo gauza txikiekin egin daitezkela helburu handiak. Orduan, bai elkarteak, herriko elkarteak, bai eta profesional, arlo desberdinetako profesionalak, komertzio txikiak, edo farmaziko langileak ere, blisterrak eta horrelako gauza zerbitzu desberdinak gaur egun ematen ez dien zerbitzu desberdinak eskaintzen, eredu berri honen bitartez guzti hori ere horrea ere iritsi nahi da. Nik uste erronka badala, beharrezkoa dala eta pasu bat gehiago eman behar dala. Ez degula bakarrikan pertsona edo zaintzailearen arretan gelditu behar, arreta osoago bat izan behar dula eta aruntzago bajun behar dela. Eta lan hori ere egin nahi dugu, horretan gabiltza.
Sí, yo quiero seguir viviendo en mi casa mientras pueda. Porque tengo mis recuerdos aquí, tengo mi hija que es deficiente también y la amparo mucho yo. Todos estos pueden venir, pero no es... Yo me levanto si está destapada, taparle o... Ahora vamos a estar con la madera de la madera, ya la ropería.
Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you very much to the survivors that have stayed with us this long, and especially I have a claim that beautiful book, What's Small is Beautiful. That's the title in the literal translation, because this is what I have, the small of it, the small part of it, what's daily life, and it has to do with 3 average municipalities in Gipuzkoa's region. And as it's been said before, this is a project that has been promoted by the regional government and again by all 3 municipalities, as well as the Deusto University, which will be in charge of part of this cost-effectiveness study. And so after such an impressive morning and impressive afternoon as well, just let me tell you that the essence of this project is in this piece of paper that you will be given. It is bilingual, and there you can have an explanation, a detailed explanation of the methodology. This is a research project, and so this is the approach that we have, which I feel very much, well, we don't have time for it, but I do have a few comments, take-home messages, that is, very close to limitations, analysis, framework, future, and all of this, that from the social approach we also consider. It is true. It's needless to say that we are still the minor partners to the healthcare system. And from the social side, concern is huge because there are some things that we've seen on the screen. First, people who need help, as we all know, they still need and want to live at their place, at their home or regular setting. It is true that the time and intensity of dependence grows day by day. We are and need to keep on investigating for a long time to see if comorbidities meet the prospects or not. But reality is that we live in a high dependency or a high dependent environment with greater intensity. And now in southern countries, there's something specific about us, which I would say that in the case of the Basque country is even more intense than elsewhere, and that's the presence, a powerful presence of family care. Amazing, shocking. If I have an extra minute, I can share some data, which somehow gives a nuance to the intervention programs, integrated care programs, because there's this third, rather fourth stakeholder, usually a female. So instead of an actor, it will be an actress, and these are female caregivers. Needless to refer to the increase in loneliness. So when we talk about 85 years of age, we're talking about 40% of people who live on their own, and some of them are dependent, and they tend to be women. 7 out of 10, they are women, which means that we need to review the caregiving model that we have nowadays. And I dare say that luckily we've managed, well, rather there is a discussion yet. We are trying to understand this long transition from a social protectionist public system that we've advocated for so many years, and still it's advocated, to an organization of new formulae for building what we could call the caring society. So it's not just the public system, but right now, sustaining care and make sure that they are not just supported by relative caregivers implies so many other actions beyond that of social and health services. And this is all part of the framework of sustainability of our social protection system that nowadays is now being tense because it's now right before the election time. So the goals for the project, I think it's clear what the goals are. We need to reapproach this support and aid model, and we need to rethink it with coordination with social and health services, and also in the community, in professionals with little or low qualifications, such as personal assistants or housekeepers and domestic service. Many environments where they need to be present so that highly dependent people can stay at home. We are talking about grade 3 according to our law. We need to move forward in an integrated care model that is people-centered, which is very difficult, and I'll explain that. And we need to identify those integration formulas through coordination. We all know there's several different integration models, but we've chosen, and the Basque country has chosen, a coordination-based model. And we have the case manager profile, we have community-based and volunteer-based activities. So this is active aging, not just for people who are very fit. It is pointless. I think it is time now to discuss active aging, and so that we all take out the streets, including everyone with dementia and those who have a high level of dependency. And we also need evidence on the cost-effectiveness ratio for the model. Just a few comments on the main elements, the protagonists, because, well, this is mainly women, we have to say, but there are some men. We're talking about the sample, 180 people, with the control and the trial group, around 83 years of age, over 3 chronic diseases, and high incidence of cognitive impairment. And they use, and they're right. They think right of the health system. They feel cared for, not so much so cared for by the social system as it makes sense, because this is quite unequal. They have problems, and again, let me highlight, this is a core problem. I feel everywhere, but especially here, and when we talk about mid-sized municipalities, there we have accessibility problems in and outside of the home, and serious ones. Sometimes they also have independence problems. They're victims of the overprotection of the caregivers. Funny, but it's worth saying. And they just want what's the small part of it. That's what I said when I started, that what's small is beautiful. Because when we started out this project, logically, we always get some reluctance. Yeah, sure, you're going to provide many services, people will be happy, but it's unsustainable. Well, it is true, we need services and they need to be implemented, but people ask for very small things. They ask for going out to the street, meeting their friends, and playing cards, or just go to church. That's what they want to do. Staying in connection with the previous life. And I think it's very important. In the previous presentations, they both highlighted that people are not just a disease or a condition. And we don't care for conditions. That's what healthcare professionals are for. But we care for people. And that's why we are trying to offer integrated care to all of them. And so there's a second half of it where we have protagonists, very much the leading characters. Those are the caregivers, mainly female, and around 60 to, well, 60 when they are daughters, to as old as you can think of, as wives, caregivers or husband caregivers, around 80 to 85 years of age. With high satisfaction, as reported, concerning, because we need to work on that. Their feeling of reciprocity is amazing, to the extent that they want to care for. They find it is a duty, and they feel they are satisfied with it. And we find there is quite an overload. That woman on the clip was a caregiver, and she is a caregiver. She's a woman, and I said I can take it all, because at some other point at the interview she said so. Well, she cannot. Obvious. So we need to work on it so very much, because we have a population which is mainly female population, engaged and committed to caregiving, and they are ending their lives like that. So we, the public administration, we need to be obliged to help them and complement their care, because that would be one of the essences of their care integration beyond what we all know. And it is seen with quite an impact in their family stability. And then professionals. We describe professions and professionals. We have a wonderful case manager in Renteria, full of energy. And we've met some professionals who have, well, we're talking about social workers. We're now playing that role where they are case managers. They could also be nurses, but this is a project coming from the other field of expertise. And they feel there is a lack of coordination with social health services, and that's the first thing we tackled. An overload and a diversity and multiplicity of responsibilities, which sometimes prevents them from focusing on people, and that just task focus, because tasks are so variegated, so very many, and we don't have time to focus on people anymore. We are just a task-focused culture. And there is this feeling of powerlessness because of everything that goes on in daily life when there's dependence. This idea of streamlining the time of need and the time of help. It is difficult, very difficult, but this is one of the goals that we cannot forget about. It is a significant challenge, so when someone needs care at 8 a.m., we need to make sure that they don't get it at noon, because there we see a frustrating impairment for everyone, especially for themselves. There's a high commitment with case managers, as we saw on the video. And there's a development which I would call scarce, and also scarce trust in the volunteer and community action. I would say this is our greatest challenge, getting there, but it is taking us some effort and time, and also recognition by everyone who's part of the project. They've seen that any caregiver who is at home, whether they are professional housekeeper, personal assistant, caregiver, in any case, they need to be accompanied and they need to be trained. I would say accompanied, because I feel that's best. And then let me quote, because I'm out of time, but here we have some intervention, or fields of interventions we're working on. First, social and health coordination. I dare say, and some people in the room can document that if we go down to the small part of it, when we go down towards the daily life, we get rid of those coordination problems. It's way easier. There's been no mistakes. There's been also case meetings, joint meetings, shared meetings, and it all works without huge structures. Naturally, there's been an increase in services, and there's been a few services which we would see are a novelty, as trying that temporary stays in nursing homes for the weekend or for several weeks. We thought that even though there is no evidence that they truly are detrimental for those people, when there is cognitive impairment, they are very disoriented as they leave. So we are trying to work on those stays with personal assistants at home. So it's home-based, family can leave or caregivers can leave, but at the same time, we don't disorient those people anymore. So psychological support at home and everything else. Then what about settings and environment? Again, it's been discussed. It's amazing, amazing. And then the small wishes, as we call them, that I mentioned and touch upon, but let me highlight once again. Street belongs to everyone, and those who suffer even more, because when they get out, they rediscover those times that they had not lived for 4 or 5 years. So we found people who for 4 or 5 years haven't left their home, and that's important. And I'm about to finish here with challenges. And well, I had this other comment, if you don't mind. The great challenges up on the screen. First one is that all public administrations need to be engaged and committed, because here we live in a country where there is a, how do I put it, a diversity in the competences, which makes things a bit more difficult sometimes. We do need to harmonize and streamline those cultures, organizational and discipline cultures, because they're very different. Social system, health system, chronicity, dependence, all of that we are aware of. We need to reformulate this care model and also case management. We should not be scared, because this is for the 5% that I mentioned earlier on. So those people who are complex in the sense that they have complex cases. So it's not for everyone. Do not discredit that it's a bulletproof solution, because we will not cover it all. And the care model, Victoria, I'm about to finish here, this integrated, people-centered care model, I think it takes us to what's so difficult about customization, paying attention, and identifying preferences of everyone. And so all of that, it takes time. Oftentimes, we've heard it throughout today, time, and meaningful activities, not just childish activities, no unchosen activities, and no unwanted activities for people. What's the small detail, that's what matters, that's what's meaningful, and that's what we need, and that's what will build on what we are using now as a concept, a caring society that is accountable and kind to everyone. Thank you very much.
Muchísimas gracias a Mayte.
Thank you very much, Mayte.
Por ese ejemplo.